Mac Jolly and myself are going to decide what the best Daniel Craig James Bond movie is scientifically. We're going to go for the facts. We're going to figure it out. But anyway, if you're wondering who my guest is here with me, I did already say his name, but that is Mac Jolly in the flesh. I have one big question to ask you, Mac. How the hell did you get into being a James Bond fan film actor? Like, where the hell did that come from?
That was your fault entirely. I remember playing GoldenEye Satellite on your bunk bed.
Oh, yeah.
We just basically choke each other until one of us fell and then start again, I guess. I don't know.
When you're a kid and you go see a movie, then you get all excited to go home and basically reenact it in your front yard or whatever. And that's kind of how we were growing up with James Bond. But what we're doing today, we decided that we are going to rank Daniel Craig's James Bond movies not based on just the movie or the story of the movie itself and how our feelings towards that movie, but instead on specific criteria such as the Bond villain, the henchman, the Bond girl, the gadgets, the car, and the song. And so those 6 things we are then going to place into this tier list. No single item from any category can be in the same tier twice. There will always be an F when it comes to any of those categories for any movie. And we're going to talk about each of those. We're just going to go through them. And we have to agree on it. All right. Let's start with Lashif. I'm going to throw him right there.
Wait,
okay, so if I'm screen sharing.
Each movie can only get S tier once?
No. I should clarify that. Each category should.
Each category.
Just ask.
What are the rules again?
Okay, so Lashif. What do you think about Lashif, Mac?
I think probably one of the greatest Bond villains in the entire franchise.
Yeah.
Certainly in the Daniel Craig universe. He's got everything that you want in a Bond villain. I think his motivation is really good. You know, taking the money from those guys to short the plane stock, and then Bond thwarts him, so then he has to put on the Casino Royale tournament, and Bond thwarts that. You can really feel his desperation. Obviously, incredibly talented actor. He's got his Bond quirk with the bleeding tear duct. He's very intimidating. Obviously, the chair and the rope scene, the confrontations, for sure a top villain. I think.
I think there's no really doubting that. At least just to start this, if we come across one we think is arguably better, we can move him. Dominic Green. Yeah, I think for the sake of brevity, I think people tend to consider him. It doesn't matter what other people consider, I guess, is what we think. But
yeah, we're the experts here.
Yeah, I don't think you should listen to anyone else, any other videos, any other opinions. Subscribe to this channel. Only watch these ones moving forward. Dominic Green. I mean, I don't dislike him as much as I feel like genuinely people tend to. I think a villain's supposed to be unlikable, and he's very unlikable. He's very squirrely and maybe the plot feels kind of weak or something, and that's what gets attributed to it. But I think he's fine.
I think he's fine too. I mean, for sure, yeah. A weaker villain. I mean, not super. The other guy, the Colombian dude that's trying to become president, is a little bit more intimidating. The scene with him and Camilla where you think he's gonna do something sketchy to her is pretty scary. Dominic Green, I don't know. Yeah,
from
not bad. I mean, at least he has a story. He's trying to control the water rights or whatever, but no real great confrontation Bond villain moment though in that movie.
I agree.
You know, the hotel kind of blows up and he grabs him and he leaves him in the desert with the oil can, and it's
I don't know. We get a couple moments where he's swinging an axe at him, and it just feels like, why are they fighting? I think we just leave him in the middle for now. And
I think so. He doesn't quite have any of those kind of what you think Bond villain should have a little, I don't know, a thing. They all have the iconic ones have this little quirk to them or something. He doesn't. He's just kind of a normal guy trying to do some corrupt political things.
That's a good point. He doesn't have that iconic, the blood tear from the sheaf.
Blood tear, or the golden gun, or the the cyanide face, or
this next villain, our Silva. There we go. So I think we'll kind of readjust and see where he falls. But Silva, I think he's definitely a standout villain.
For sure, I agree.
I just rewatched Skyfall actually, and I
I'm
think
interested to talk to you about that because I did too.
Oh, did you really?
We gotta
Oh, yeah.
talk about Skyfall.
We do gotta talk about it. We were gonna make another video where we talk about all the movies just kind of generally, so we do have to talk through this. I think we're gonna get some hints at it, but it's interesting because I think the motivations for his character are great. I love the monologue that we see in this scene. I think it's so good, and the
With
kind
the
of
rats,
like,
yeah, so
yeah,
good.
and I love the kind of like innuendo with him and Bond. I think that actually works for me really well. Like it's a fun tease that they have with each other.
Mm-hmm.
I think my issues with him are more or less related to plot points, like him being kind of like, I actually wanted to get captured. I had this whole thing planned, kind of, but that's not really the fault of like what we're seeing on screen necessarily, as it is kind of like from a writing perspective and story perspective. Yeah. So I think he's like got to be. I mean, really, the question is he better than Lashif? Because I think that's a real possible debate. You know, like where do we go there? Like, I mean, he literally kills M, which is brutal. You know, I think that's like, as far as villainous moves go, it's probably one of the most heartbreaking.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he's definitely upper tier for sure.
Ooh, that's tough. We have to. I'm like actually really struggling on that one. Like,
is he better? Is he a better villain? And his history as like a former agent with M, that story's kind of interesting. A little bit, kind of like a GoldenEye type thing, like X. MI6 agent.
Yeah.
Javier Bardem's obviously great. Played him. Yeah, man, I don't know. Let's keep going.
Yeah, we'll keep going. We got to figure out a position for him, though. What do we want to do for now? A or S, I guess.
I'll leave him in S for right now.
Okay. All right. Next up is Ernst Stavro Blofeld, or Oberhauser, as we know him in the movie for the most part. That is our Spectre villain.
Yeah, there he is.
There he is.
Yeah, I mean,
great casting.
Great yeah, casting. Phenomenal casting. I mean, like, yeah, how do you have him play this role and it flop so badly?
Yeah, I think that's. Yeah. I guess if we're gonna give, you know what, I think this helps even solve the Silva problem, because like you can't really, the character is written in the story, right? Like we can grade performance. I think he does a fine job with what he's given, but the issues with Ernst Stavro Blofeld and Spectre are all related to what the story is, and that like severely knocks him down. And so I think that there are some flaws, like big flaws in that. I think it's him as a villain is presented in Spectre as just taking credit for everyone that came prior to him.
Exactly. Yeah,
and he's never really like establishing anything on his own. And so they're using the name to kind of get our cred, which really, to me, feels like fan service, because that's exactly what fan service is like, oh, you're going to care about this thing because you recognize it. We're not going to develop it on our own. And so I'm not saying like that he's a fan service character necessarily, but it's kind of akin to that in that it's not really developed on its own in a way that's compelling.
No.
So, I mean, I'm pretty... I think it's worse than Dominic Green, because I don't think he really offers anything.
Yeah, I mean... And again, it feels wrong.
It does feel wrong.
Putting Blofeld under Dominic Green, but yeah, I mean, it's just not... yeah, like you said, like he doesn't... Yeah, the performance is great. I wasn't bothered by like the history between him and Bond being like sort of half brothers or whatever. That didn't bother me. I know that bothers some people. And the performance was great, but he did the best with what he could.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's just like everything leads to Blofeld, and then it's just like everything was me. I'm the author of all your pain. It was always me behind the curtain pulling all these strings. And then Bond escapes and shoots him out of a helicopter and captures him, and that's it. And like that's.
Yeah.
But he doesn't do anything.
I agree.
Yeah. You got to put... It feels wrong to put Christoph Waltz as Blofeld as F, but you have to.
Mm-hmm. And I think those story flaws, it personally make me retroactively want to put Silva just below Lashif, just because I think that there are some mild flaws there that, for me, but if we want to debate that later, we can.
No, I don't think there's. Yeah, I think I've got nothing to say bad about Lashif. I think it's pretty perfect.
Yeah, I agree.
I think he fits. He fits all the features of the Bond villain you want. His motivation is believable, and it's not too like I got a space laser. You know,
Safin is next here, which yeah, I guess he is the weakest part of No Time to Die for me personally.
I think he lacks. I couldn't buy into. I understand his motivation to dispose of Spectre. That made sense to me. I feel like that was set up enough for him to kind of like switch in Cuba and kill all the Spectre agents. What I never got behind is how he used that like bioweapon to then he's like, well, I'm just gonna kill everyone in the world. And maybe I need to rewatch it, but I think every time I've watched it, I'm just like, I can't quite get why he would be motivated to then go that far, or why he's targeting or interested in Bond personally at all.
Yeah,
unless it has to do with like his connection to Madeline Swan. And again, like if you're gonna, but I mean, he does have kind of all these. I mean, obviously, incredible actor, excellent performance, creepy, menacing. I mean, at the
Quirks.
end when he shoots Bond and he's got the necklace and scratches Bond and you've realized what's happened and like that's just like a gut punch and you're just like, oh shit, like he just did that to Bond.
Yeah, I guess no, he does technically. Spoiler alert: he's the one that kills Bond in a way.
Essentially, I mean, at that point, when I was watching the movie, I realized like, okay, like they might now kill Bond because the fact that he's like has Madeline Swan and a daughter now. But the weapon would make it so if he went near them, they would die. Like that's a fate worse than death. Is kind of the realization I had, and then I'm like I don't think Bond's getting off this island.
Yeah, I think that plot point is very interesting. Of like, if he goes near them, they would die, and so he's willing to like sacrifice himself for them to live on like a deeper level than just like, oh, I can't get on the boat with them and escape. It's like no, like genuinely, like, he can't live a life anymore, you know, in that way. And so that self-sacrifice means something different now. So like that aspect of it is good, but in retrospect, knowing that he's the villain that kills Bond, you almost wish it was like a little bit of a better villain to kind of go, you know, hand in hand with Bond there. But
I feel like he checks most of the boxes. I mean, he's got his little quirky thing, the face and the mask, and I think his motivation is strong initially, but I can't ever just get to the point where like, what's motivating you now to like make this worldwide? I
agree, and his connection with Bond just feels loose and thin, and even the fact that he's still after Madeline or has a connection there feels kind of thin too, from her being the child that survived that.
Yeah, but the scenes he everything's very tense and very uneasy when he's on screen.
Yeah, I do agree.
And I'm waiting for him to do something.
Okay, so then would you put him B or C? Because I'm okay either way. It's a matter of him or Dominic Green.
I'd probably put him above Dominic Green, right. I think.
I feel that's fair. Okay, so now if you guys are following along, hopefully you're still watching, what we've done is rank all the villains. And we're going to move forward now to another category from the movies. And by the end of this, we will determine the best Bond movie based on who has the most in any category. And so S tier is equivalent to 5 points, 4, 3, 2, 1, going on down to F, being with 1. So now Henchman's an interesting one because, you
Henchman's hard with the Daniel Craig universe.
I think classically in Bond films, there's always been a henchman to some degree. Even if they don't have like a name you remember, you kind of can visualize them. And so when I Googled Henchman from Casino Royale, the guy that popped up...
the guy with the nail in the eye?
Yeah, exactly.
That's the only guy I could think of, too.
Yeah, I was like, this guy pops up as our henchman from Casino Royale. And so I think on the scales of Henchman, like... I mean, he's got a little interesting thing because he's got the different eyes, which is kind of a fun pairing with the bleeding eye of Lashif. And I hadn't thought about that until...
And he dies with a nail in the eye?
So it's kind of all eye related. I don't know. But so I don't know. I mean, he's no real
He definitely has
henchman.
his little quirk. And I think, like, when you think of like henchman, you gotta... Yeah. I feel like there has to be some little quirk about you. But I
Yeah.
feel like you need like classically like multiple run-ins with Bond.
Hmm.
Questionable, is he dead or not? And then you have to have like an iconic death. And I think the nail gun to the face fits that category.
I do agree.
But I don't know where to put him.
We're
I
gonna
mean, we
figure
got
that out as we talk about our next guy. This dude
oh
from Quantum
dude,
of
I don't even
Solace.
know his name.
I don't know the name of either of these guys. Could have looked it up, I guess.
I
Um,
can't tell you anything about him, honestly.
yeah,
I
he
need
mostly
to
just
watch
stands
more
in the
of it.
background of some shots. He also has that like I
Is it a
do
cool
like
death?
that he. I can't remember his death.
Oh damn, me either.
Yeah, we'll cut that part. We're supposed to be Bond experts here.
Yeah,
Um, he his bowl cut does
bowl
make
cut, it
him a
works.
funny character to look at in the background. Like, and he is consistently in the background of so many scenes throughout this movie.
Mhm.
Whereas, like the eye patch guy, he's really only in the final act of Casino Royale. So, for
Fair.
screen time's sake, he does have like more of a henchman presence. Like, but when you have Dominic Green, who's already kind of like a non-threatening villain, and then you have this guy being his like henchman, it's like both
Yeah.
of them are just kind of squirmy looking. Uh, I don't know. He falls down the stairs at one point. I think Gemma Arterton trips him down the stairs, and he. I don't know if you remember that scene, but
I need to rewatch.
he's got some funny little moments, and so I think personally, just for the fact that he's in it more, and he's got that like a good Bond sidekick, villain henchman, is someone that you just kind of remember seeing them in every scene, you know, and so I'd put him above the eye patch guy personally.
Yeah, I mean, I wrote 2 movies down, and then I wrote 3 movies. I put question mark, because I had no idea like what to do with these
Mhm.
guys. So yeah, I'm fine with that.
Skyfall henchman. This is an interesting one too because this is what pops up
Yeah,
when you
that
Google
guy.
him. Now I don't know if he really qualifies as henchman so much as kind of like first lead or first villain that you encounter. But if he is going to, because when you Google Skyfall henchman, this is the guy that comes up. If he's going to qualify for henchman, which he does on our list, he's definitely the most. He gives us the best action scenes. I mean, we get the
2
train
awesome
fight with him
scenes.
and that fight.
The silhouette
silhouette
fight, I
fight.
love that. That's so good.
So I think just by the nature of that, I mean, he kind of qualifies as being a henchman by just kind of being nonverbal and kind of just, I don't know. So we'll just kind of
Yeah.
keep him up there for now.
Then I think you get to the 2 movies that actually have like a
The actual
a
henchman.
yeah, Hinks,
Hinks.
Dave Bautista.
I think people were disappointed that he didn't have more of a part to play. But
Mhm.
I personally, I think that train fight with him is incredible. It's like the best
I
action
think he's,
sequence in the film.
I agree, yeah, and I think he's just like a real positive part of Spectre. I mean,
For sure.
he's got everything. I mean, he's big, he's intimidating, he's got the metal thumbs, he's got the quirk thing. He, multiple run-ins with Bond. The plane sequence,
Yeah.
and then he's not quite dead, and he shows up on the train. Iconic death, rope around the neck, out the train.
Yeah.
Leading
And
to
that
a sex scene.
sequence,
I mean, classic.
which I've always liked that transition too.
The car. And the car chase.
Yeah, which I think is,
A weak
we
car
talked about
chase,
as a little bit of a forgettable car chase, was why it comes up last when we're recalling all the moments he shows up. But he's consistently there. He's always on Bond's tail, and I like him. I think he's a
It
great
might be.
henchman.
I think he's probably. I think he's. Yeah.
I think he's S
I think
tier.
he's probably S tier.
When I think ahead, because I can't even. Let's go. No Time to Die, henchman, and this one's interesting because
Yeah, this guy with the eye.
yeah, he's got the quirk, which another eye situation. It's a common
Iconic
thing
death.
with Bond is going to be eyes. I think it's iconic death, which links into one of our gadgets from this film, which we'll talk about later. And then I don't know.
Couple
I mean,
run-ins with Bond.
yeah, he's got this cool motorcycle chase scene. Yeah, where
And
do we
then
go
that's
with that?
about it.
Yeah, where do we go with him?
I would probably. It's like, yeah, that's kind of where he's sitting for me.
Probably
in
got to
between
shift
Quantum
him
and
just
Skyfall.
down, right? Yeah. If we're just going based on the action scenes, we just get a little bit more with him.
I think. Yeah, I think I'd take
Yeah.
Skyfall over.
Sweet. There we go.
I would say he fits kind of better your classic Bond henchman, but
Yeah.
I think the Skyfall scenes were better.
This list is starting to look nice with us pairing our villain and our henchman together.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, so then
wow.
next up...
They're all paired... Oh, wait, no, they're not quite paired up.
Yeah, I didn't even think
almost.
about... Yeah, they're not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I think you go right now, we can talk about it, but for sure S tier. I mean...
Yeah, she's S tier.
All of her scenes kind of... I don't know if she steals the moment, but it definitely is able to kind of hold her own with Bond, the train scene. I mean,
every penny of it.
Her death is devastating. She betrays
her
him.
Betrayal.
It basically ruins him for the rest of the movies.
I mean,
yeah, she's dope.
Basically talked about in every Bond film that comes after, aside from Skyfall. Mm-hmm. I don't think she's referenced in Skyfall, but I think she is in every. I mean, so like that alone is says the.
You basically get a whole Bond movie, Quantum, of him like processing her.
No, yeah, S tier.
And what she did to him. Yeah, she's awesome. Excellent performance.
For Quantum, we have. Whoops. That's just Vesper again.
What's her name? Camille?
Gosh, these picks are big. Okay. Yeah. Camille. Olga Kurylenko.
I think she's actually pretty good.
I like her too. I think she is good. I think that
she kind of has her own side story, her own arc, resolves. She kills the guy who killed her family.
Yeah. I think if anything,
strong character.
She's kind of the main character in Quantum, if you look at it that way, where it's like the whole Bond is just seeking revenge from Vesper, and he's kind of purposeless, aside from just wanting to murder and drink himself into death, basically. When he links up with her, that kind of gives him a purpose of like hunting down the villain, and because of her motivations and her story. So in a way, she kind of does provide the story. Quantum is kind of a, it's one of the weaker storylines in the Bond series in general, and it's a lot of like ideas tethered together loosely anyway, but I do think she's actually a really strong part of it for me. So for now, we'll just put her below Vesper. Okay, so our next one is Skyfall.
Skyfall, yeah.
Which is Berenice Merlot. Severin, I think is her name. And I mean, her screen time just doesn't even compare when it comes to like a Bond girl. She's only in like 20 minutes of the film. I don't think she's bad. I like her performance, but I actually do think the movie doesn't do her very good justice. Like, I'd be curious of your thoughts on this because you just watched it too. But when I was watching it this time, I didn't realize how kind of like they did her character dirty. She talks about being in like a slave trade, like a sex slave trade. And then literally Bond like walks in the shower on her and surprises her like completely naked. Like, and then they have their like sex scene. And then literally she gets shot right as all like his helicopters fly in to save the day, and he just kind of moves on. And it just feels like another kind of like throw the girl away, like the tissue that was used, kind of, which is what people always kind of said about Bond in the old days. But it feels particularly harsh in this film because they talk about her past in that way. And so like I was kind of like more soured by it this time. I don't know how you feel about it.
Yeah, I agree. She just doesn't really do much. I mean, she kind of leads him to self. She just doesn't do anything. I mean, she's just kind of she's the hot girl that he hooks up with, and then that's it. Yeah. Which I think for sure in the Daniel Craig universe, like the Bond girls are all very strong female characters, and she was just kind of there, didn't serve much of a purpose, and then was dead.
Yeah.
And that is kind of I would put her probably at the bottom.
I would put her at the bottom too. No shade to her performance or what.
Not great. Yeah, it's kind of like part of me when we were thinking about this, I'm like Moneypenny's kind of the Bond girl, or M even. It's kind
that's
of like an M
true.
Movie. M is kind of the Bond girl for Skyfall.
She really is. So okay.
So we basically have two
Madeline
movies, same
Swan.
girl.
I know. I was thinking about that. But yeah, she's the main Bond girl. So this, I don't know, did you just see that notification?
Yeah, what do we do about that?
Free group calls end in 15 minutes. Well, we just try to wrap this up in 15 minutes, which I think we could do. Madeline Swan. Oh, thoughts on her?
Have to do
this one.
You might just have to do a break halfway through.
Yeah.
Madeline Swan, Inspector. I mean, she's okay. She's not bad. I mean, for sure, much better in No Time to Die. The chemistry's better.
Yeah.
Everything about it is way better in No Time to Die. Inspector, I feel like a little bit damsel in distressy, more so compared to like Camilla or, Vesper, or even just her performance in No Time to Die. I don't know.
I totally
wasn't
agree.
really much interesting about her character. She was just kind of this broken. Her father was Mr. White, and she had this trauma. But I don't know. Just nothing really interesting, Inspector, with her personally.
I agree, and the riding off in the sunset and kind of giving up on MI6 to be with her at the end just felt completely forced because you never felt the chemistry between them in the way that like the movie wanted us to. I mean, at this point, Bond really, he got over Vesper at the end of Quantum in a way, and he doesn't really like have like a real relationship in Skyfall, but then the next movie he's suddenly like in love long term again. It makes it feel like he learned nothing. Which the whole arc was all about. That's what the first two movies were about. It's like, this is how Bond becomes Bond. So if anything, I guess that kind of strengthens the Bond girl in Skyfall, that he does just kind of like not seem to care because he's so walled up from Vesper. But with Madeline Swan, never felt the chemistry in this film, but I agree with you. I think it's much better No Time to Die.
And that's crazy. Like, to plug that movie real quick, like you go from them riding off the Sunset Inspector and not buying it. You get basically a honeymoon type one scene with them before the car chase. And you're just instantly bought into that relationship way more. Yeah. With like him thinking she betrayed him, and like the car scene where they're shooting at him, and then him leaving her at the train, and just like you are like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like
1,000%.
In 15 minutes they made me totally invested in this relationship that I did not care about in the previous movie.
Totally agree with that. Yeah, totally agree. So we might as well just let's just hit them.
But I feel like overall serves more of a purpose Inspector as a film, more so than Skyfalls, I think.
So I would say while we're just hitting these in one go, I'd move even Quantum of Solace down to open up Madeline Swan to come back in No Time to Die and hit A tier. It's kind of ironic. She hits A and she hits C. Now I did throw, as I was figuring out No Time to Die, I was like, do we really want to reuse the same girl? So I did throw, I didn't even
know me. Marshall
Boom.
Or whatever. Oh, duh, Ana de Armas.
I know. She's only in the movie for like 20 minutes again, and she's not really... The movie is Madeline Swan, but I was like, if we didn't want to use her twice, she's easily like an S tier moment, but it's just not...
Oh, yeah.
It's not like awesome. The Aston Martin, what is it, Vanquish?
I think it's a DBS.
Oh, it is a DBS.
Vanquish
is the Die Another Day.
Yeah.
Yeah, DBS. I like this car a lot.
I like this car a lot. You also, I mean, I don't know what you thought. You also get the DB5 in the show, too.
You do.
And I don't know if this is Bond lore or fits into the Bond universe, but I do kind of love that he wins that car in a poker game. And then throughout the Daniel Craig movies, it seems kind of like he gets the sexy modern car when he's on a mission, but the DB5 is kind of his daily driver. Like he drives it in Casino Royale. I don't think it shows up in Quantum. He drives it. He's got it stashed away in Skyfall. Drives it at the end of Spectre, and then obviously has it with him at No Time to Die. So that kind of feels like his personal vehicle. At least that's now how I'm choosing to view it.
Yeah.
That he won in the poker game. So you get the DB5 and you get this car.
Never thought about that before. Like that is the same DB5 that he wins in Casino Royale.
It's probably
I actually
not.
love that.
I'm choosing.
I guess it does get shot up in Skyfall, I think too. But But
Yeah, but
I
then
like
remember
the
it's
idea.
getting repaired.
Oh
Inspector, you
yeah,
see it in the background. Q's
that's
repairing
right.
it.
No, I think
Or
it
at
is
least I'm
that.
pretending he is.
I
I'm
like
gonna
that.
say it's
At
the
least
same one.
yeah, let's go with that. That's fun.
Yeah, I mean, awesome
So
car.
this so
You get
this
the
isn't.
world record for rolls.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so let's
So
just do that for now.
yeah, I'll set the stand. I'll set that right there.
Quantum car is the same car,
And
actually.
it's the only one you get, I think.
I think I would put it lower just because you only see it through extreme shaky cam.
I do love that car chase. I will admit.
I
I
do.
understand it is a little jarring and hard to follow, but I love that car chase scene. And I love that you start Quantum and you don't really know where you're picking up until he opens the trunk. You're like, holy shit, this is like Mr. White's been in there the whole time. Like, this is literally right after. That's so
That is
perfect.
fun.
But yeah, I mean, as far as if we're trying to find the essential
Well,
Daniel Craig Bond car movie, probably, I mean,
he doesn't
it's gotta-
get a car chase with it in Casino. It's very limited in Casino, so
I would say, yeah, better
I'd
car
put it up.
chase, but you only get one car and it's the same car. I don't know.
yeah,
I'll
we
figure
might
that out.
move them down for sure. But next will be Skyfall DB5, which is kind of the first time it's used.
Properly.
Yeah, like I mean, he literally pulls out the old like guns in it too. Like, and when that's
Yeah.
revealed that he has the machine guns in the headlights, it's like I don't know.
He's
I think
gonna-
that's so cool.
I do too. And when you see it, yeah, it's so, yeah,
The
it's awesome. And the
Ejector
reason why he
seat
has
to
it,
M, he's like jokes
yeah,
that
he's
he's
like,
going
go
to
on,
eject
eject
M.
me. Yeah.
Yeah,
And the reason he's using it to kind of like go off the grid and kind of rewatching Skyfall, there's this theme of like the old ways are the best, and so kind of bringing the classic Bond car back for the finale. I did love all of that. So
yeah. I think you just kind of have to do an S tier for now on it. But,
I think, yeah,
we'll kind
I
of.
mean, it's awesome.
I mean, I don't know. I guess now is a proper time to debate whether or not you prefer the Casino Royale or Quantum Vanish or DBS. God damn, over the DB5. You know.
Yeah, so again, it depends. Like if you're picking one Bond car, I think you have to choose the DB5. But if you're picking a Craig movie that is the best Bond car Bond movie, I think Casino wins because you get two cars. You get the DB5 and you get the DBS. You get that intense action scene. You get the world record roll. Quantum gives you the same car but gives you a car chase. I think that's how I would do it.
Yeah. Wow. No, that's a good point. I love that. I hadn't considered that when making the list. I was like, what's like the car?
That's
from the
how I
movie?
thought of
But
it. I mean,
no,
we don't
no.
have
I think
to
that's
do
great.
that, but
Well, I think that's like, that makes sense to me. I mean, I guess it's kind of the same. Well, by that metric, we would be kind of doing injustice to the Bond girl category because a few of these movies have multiple Bond girls. Like Quantum of Solace also has the Gemma Arterton character that's in it for like 20 minutes as well, the redhead.
true.
And then you also have like, I think that's No Time to Die with Ana de Armas and stuff like. That 1-2 punch together might make it better than some of the others, but we're just choosing one. So it's like, well, now this is getting fucked because I really liked your pitch for that.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, and to continue with that, I mean, I was gonna say I think No Time to Die is the Bond car Bond movie. I mean, you get that chase with the DB5. He
Yeah.
drives the V8 Vantage to MI6. You get the DBS that Nomi drives. You get the Range Rover scene, and then at the end, in the background's the Aston Martin Valhalla hypercar that's just kind of sitting in the background. But I mean, if you're looking for a Bond car
Dude.
Bond movie, it has to be the essential one of all of them.
yeah,
But again, you're applying this. If we apply
Yeah.
this standard just in this category,
just to this category, you've sold me. We're gonna go. Obviously, we skipped over Spectre in this discussion, so we'll come back to it. But I wanted to address the No Time to Die thing. I think that you saying that that's like the essential like car chase in Daniel Craig Bond car chase is that opening one. Like, I love to hear that because that's how I feel about it. Obviously, viewers,
I think it's the
you
best
can
car chase in
tell
the
we've
franchise.
talked about the Bond movies a lot together and do tend to share some of the opinions here. And so that's why we like to like talk Bond because we just like stroke each other's egos of like our opinions are the best opinions. But
They are.
It truthfully is like that opening sequence of No Time to Die is one thing I think it gets overshadowed when I revisit it is like the sound design. It's so visceral.
I was gonna
it's
tell you, dude,
so
the sound design.
that
car
sequence
chase,
is
yeah, it's
bar none.
beautifully shot. You can follow everything. I love it when it goes from wide to close. You see exactly how it's playing out.
Yeah.
You get the DB5 in an action scene with the gadgets. And when he's just sitting there thinking what he's gonna do, and it's silent, and it's just the gun and the window and the bullets, and she's screaming.
Yeah.
Doom, doom, doom. Like, that's so good. And then the smoke screen and the machine guns, like that's. Yeah, I think that's the best.
No, I love it.
I think it's the best car moment in the whole franchise.
It's also like mixed with just extreme emotional tension because he's like, I'm not going to get betrayed again.
What's going on.
He's
exactly.
like, you are not going to betray me again. I'm not going to make the same mistake I made with Vesper. And then like it turns out she's pregnant at the very end and goes into the oh man, yeah, I love the opening to No Time to Die. I think it's so good.
It is. And then, but then on top of that, not only do you have the
everything,
you have the V8 Vantage. Sit car on Her Majesty's Secret Service. Madeline Swan drives off into the sunset with her daughter with it. You get the sexy DBS. I mean, it's Nomi just kind of drives it and pulls up, but it's there. And then you get the prototype futuristic whatever thing in the background. I think it's the Bond car Bond movie.
You're
if you
totally
like cars, that's the one you watch.
That's so true. And this list has really opened my eyes to the fact that the Daniel Craig Bond era has a severe lack of Bond car chases because you don't even get your first true car chase. Well, okay, never mind. Quantum does open with one, but
you don't get one in Skyfall though.
But you don't in Skyfall, and you don't really in Casino. I don't think it's really qualifies as much in Casino. It's just
not
like
a chase.
You
get an intense
quick
moment with
for
the
sure.
Car. Not a car chase.
And then I think one of a shared opinion we have about Spectre is that's a very underwhelming car chase through Rome. It's visually stunning. I always want
DB5,
but it does give you that.
And
it does
gives
give
you
a couple
that
things.
Whatever that one is, the DB10.
Okay, so
62.
Mac, I mean, I think you've got a good sight on this category. Like, where would you put these then? So we've got S tier is No Time to Die. We've got A tier is Casino. Is that how you would agree with that, or would you put Spectre above Casino? I mean, your DB5 pitch, if that's how when he wins it at the Casino, like that's such a good story beat with the DB5, and then he wheels it back around for like the to pick up.
I think okay, so I think Quantum has to be the lowest because although it gives you a chase, it gives you one car that you've already seen.
Yeah, there you go. One car you've already seen.
And if we're gonna go with one car you've already seen, I think you have to go Skyfall DB5 with the way he uses it. It fits into the story of the old ways are the best. You get the gadget, you get the ejector seat thing. He uses it at Skyfall in the final battle.
So that would
I would say Spectre gives you two cars and a chase.
And it gives you an actual effective use of the ejector seat for the first time with Bond using it for himself. He actually ejects out of his
first time in the whole franchise. Yeah.
What is that? What is that one? Is that the Vanish? What are the names here? What is it?
The Spectre one I think is the DB10. I want to say
DB10.
And I think they only made 10, and I think they were all used in the movie or something. It's like
That's
a super.
Sick.
Yeah, I
will say I
like that order.
Yeah, that actually feels pretty good. Wow, I love it. Okay, so gadgets. This is a pretty anticlimactic category
gadgets
for this series because you're gonna love this. I love that you can't personally see the list in close up, so you're probably wondering like what I've got for some of these. Casino Royale gadget is the defibrillator.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's there. It saves his life. I mean, that's what a lot of these gadgets do. A lot of like. In general, in the Bond universe, the theme of the gadget is like he needs it in like a super niche specific moment, but it saves his life. I mean, it checks those boxes.
It does.
But there's no QC.
But anyone could have a defibrillator.
It's just a glorified first aid kit. I mean,
I think for the sake of just where we're
going
on the list, I'm gonna go there because it doesn't really get much better. Quantum of Solace. I got this thing for Quantum. A GPS.
He does have a
system.
camera, doesn't he? He has a camera
Yeah,
at the opera.
It does something, and that's on his phone. There was a earpiece that the villains had that was a cool little Q that looks like the Quantum logo.
Okay, yeah, fair.
But that's not really fun. So I think when it comes to smartphone, I think that has to go.
Yeah, you gotta get
bottom.
better than that at least.
Skyfall obviously reintroduced the concept of gadget with not only the radio, but with, now this is not the gun that's pictured, but also I actually really liked the idea that his handprint,
the handprint,
initiated the access to actually be able to use his PPK. I thought that was really cool because, yeah, like that's just a fun gadget that I think is cool. I personally don't. Scene? Yeah, we get our first Q scene. I don't personally love the radio because I already kind of talked about it earlier. Like, I just really don't like the moment of him pulling it out and then like 5 CG helicopters just fly over.
Yeah,
and it's like I know that they were already on their way, but it just feels like literally in Casino Royale, which was 6 years prior to this, he got like a bug injected into his arm, and that was a tracker. Like, why the fuck does he have to carry something that could get stolen from him when he gets captured, as opposed to just have something injected in him? You know.
True, that does feel a little.
So
bit
so that aspect of it, but it is gadget.
It is gadget, and it does what gadgets do in Bond movies, and that's kind of gets him out of a pickle.
And I think it continues the theme of the old ways are the best. It's just this old ass radio thing.
You do also, he does use the DB5 at Skyfall. He uses a little bit of those gadgets.
If you do want that, that's a fair point. Is actually incorporating the car gadgets.
You got a little more gadgets in Skyfall.
I threw it at the top based on where we're at here, just for the sake of.
I think that's fair. Yeah.
So Spectre, I struggled with remembering the gadget in this one, but it was his watch, and it was just setting off the explosions, which has kind of just been done before. But it is a gadget, whereas I really don't think the first two qualify on here as really being gadgets. So
yeah, I think you gotta probably put it above Quantum and Casino.
And if we include car stuff, he uses the ejector seat, so that's actually pretty dope.
I agree with that.
And then the last one, No Time to Die, was also his watch, but he used it in a way we hadn't seen in a movie before, maybe one of the video games, but it was like an EMP, and so he burst that guy's eye, which actually is pretty cool. But as far as, creativity goes, it's pretty limited.
Do we include like the little slim Q sky plane? Is that a gadget? To get to the end base at the end of No Time to Die?
Oh, yeah.
Is that a gadget? I don't know.
I think so, but I don't think that would change my where we just placed it, unless it does for you. Because I still, even though I complained about Skyfall, I still put Skyfall at the top, and then I put No Time to Die right below it.
That might be. Yeah, I agree.
I don't know how well you can see
most
this.
Gadget.
Can you see that better? Movie. Like that for a second.
Yeah, I think.
How do you feel about that?
I think I like it.
Last category is the song, the theme song from each Bond movie. And we have Casino Royale song, which is, Chris Cornell's You Know My Name.
Great song.
Which, I think was very, it's just very hard hitting. It always worked for me. I bought this on iTunes. I think, and that's kind of the nature of a Bond theme song, is that they kind of become dated. It feels like we live in a world now where we would never hear like a rock kind of grunge type song in a Bond movie. Like, that feels so foreign.
This is
so it feels
so unique.
Kind of its time in a way.
And I really like the approach he took writing a song. It wasn't like, I don't know, about Casino Royales or whatever, but it was like we're restarting the Bond universe. It's a song about Bond. Like, You Know My Name. Yeah. You know what this is. This is Bond. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I think lyrically,
probably a lot of uncertainty about Daniel Craig taking the role in like a new Bond movie. So the fact that the song just kind of is a little on the nose with that is like the title, like You Know My Name. Like, this is gonna be a Bond movie, and I love Chris Cornell, so I'm a little bit biased there.
I am. I mean,
But
obviously,
yeah, just wrote
to
a
not
hard
spoil
rock song for a title, and it just worked.
I totally
I
agree.
loved it. Yeah, I love it.
No, yeah. I think for the sake of just right now, I'll just put it kind of in this A area because
Yeah,
we
it's
might move it
definitely
up
at
and we
the
might
top.
move it down. I think it's. Um, and by the way, I know we're on our last category of songs here, but don't go away because we are going to tally all these up at the end and figure out the best Daniel Craig Bond movie. Quantum of Solace song
I like
is.
it.
Whoops.
Jack White, Alicia Keys. I like the back and forth. I like the mixed with kind of like
Yeah.
the soft piano. It works for me. I don't. And
It does
again,
for me
I
too.
love Jack White. I don't know if people like this song. I love this song.
I think the criticism at the time was that not only did Quantum feel like a weaker succession of Casino, this song to people felt like a weaker succession of You Know My Name. It was like just kind of trying to do a very similar thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, again, personally, I think if I were to put one of these, like if I were to hear one of these come on like my playlist in my car right now between the two, this is the song I'm going to jam out to more
Oh, interesting.
personally.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I do think Chris Cornell's song for the movie works a little bit better. But like
Yeah.
I love how that fits in its movie. But this song is a song like I would actually put on and be like, I love listening to this song.
Chris
Um,
Cornell kind of. Yeah. This one kind of ebbs and flows. It has some little downtime, some
yeah,
softer moments, and then builds. Chris Cornell's kind of not at a
yeah.
10 the whole song, but I
This has some
do
groove.
like the ups and downs, the
Yeah,
more quiet Alicia Keys moments, than the harder rock parts, the
and I
back and
guess
forth. The lyrics are cool.
something we're not talking about is the actual visuals from the movie, the opening titles themselves. But
Yeah,
I actually really quite like Quantum's opening titles, like the sand
I did
dune
too.
stuff. They really went away from like using traditional like Bond girl, silhouette girl stuff in the first
Mm,
one. This one
Yeah,
like hinted at it a couple
goes
times
back
and
to that
has
a
a
little
little
bit
bit.
more.
This one feels more like a traditional Bond opening. Um, but yeah, I'm not about to try to say it should go above You Know My Name because I don't think it does. I feel like if Know My Name didn't exist, this wouldn't exist. That's how I feel
Fair.
about it.
Yeah.
Because I feel not to say that Jack White wouldn't. I think Jack White like is very creative, an amazing musician. I don't think that he's necessarily leading the like style or approach. I think that the producers they wanted something like You Know My Name, and that's why they came this direction. So like
Yeah, maybe.
if that makes sense.
Maybe.
I
I
don't
don't know.
know
Throw
exactly,
it next to it. We'll
but
see. We gotta. It's
okay,
hard to
it's hard to do
throw it
that.
up there. I do think. I mean, Skyfall. I think it's one of the greatest in the franchise. A little bit, obviously, more traditional Bond song compared to the
Yeah.
first two. And then the part where she throws in the Bond theme on the guitar, just kind of subtly there.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I think I was so sick of Adele, like
That's
on
part
the
of it too. Yeah,
radio, and
it's
that
so
hinders it for
yeah.
me. But when I was watching the movie again recently, and this title started, and when it does hit its peak and stuff, I am like, oh, I am like emotionally invested in this movie, and the song helps get me there even further. And I think that's like a great strength of it. Like this one emotionally makes you feel like, oh yeah, and it's a traditional sounding Bond song as opposed to the last two, and so it does kind of like bring the punches. So I think as
But I
much as
agree.
like
I
my
mean,
bias of like if this came
what was
on,
it 2012? Yeah, so that was
yeah,
like peak Adele.
exactly,
And this song is pretty overplayed in general.
I
Like if
think
anyone
so.
knows a Bond song, it's this one.
Which should speak to its caliber. I think that it's definitely something that like statistically, ratings wise, is probably like an S tier just because of that. But like,
Yeah.
I'm trying to ignore
I
personal
also
bias.
like lyrically, because when Skyfall comes out, you're like, what's Skyfall?
Yeah,
And lyrically, she's talking about how like when the sky falls or whatever, we'll do it all. We'll face together at Skyfall. So it's kind of like these
Yeah.
two. Skyfall's like when the sky's falling, like the climax, but then also like we'll face it together at Skyfall because Skyfall ends up in a place.
yeah,
So she kind of alludes to that, but I do love that song.
I do.
Again, all these are well. I mean,
so far.
The next one I think is the obvious worst one. I think Sam
Yeah,
Smith is the
I
clear
agree.
worst one.
And knowing
I
that
just listened
Radiohead
to
made
it
a
today.
song
Oh my gosh, dude.
that got
You're kidding
rejected.
me. Just another thing that could have made this movie the best. Yeah, just not super interesting. I listened to it a few times today. I was listening to all of them. I think
Mm.
some of the lyrics are just dumb.
Man, you
Never
put in
shoot
some
to miss. Like,
Yeah.
of course you don't. Like, I don't know. I got the writings on the wall. Like, come on, dude. The Radiohead song is so eerie, and
Yeah. Agreed.
when you listen to the Radiohead song, I think what ruined that is the Radioheadness of it. Like, the drums kind of enter awkwardly,
Yeah.
and it's very Radioheady. It's kind of off synced a little bit. And you could take a step back and say, well, that kind of leads into like the uneasy mystery
Oh, yeah.
behind Spectre. But I think if they had done just more of like a more straightforward, like the drums enter at like the obvious spot and kind of follow a more regular timing, if they made it a 10% more poppy, maybe the song gets chosen. But
Yeah, I think that's the struggle is they're following up Adele's Skyfall, which was like a mega song, brought a lot of attention to the film, and that film already was getting a lot of attention for numerous reasons. And so when you're following that up, you want to take an artist who's going to like get airplay on the radio, who's going to get, you know, people to the theater, get nods at the Academy Awards, like something that they think will transcend. And Sam Smith was kind of at the peak of his career, which he's pretty much fallen off after this, as far, not saying like nothing against him. I think he's like taking a step back from music in a lot of ways, but like
this was definitely around like where he was peaking though.
Right. And so I think that was like a factor. And when Radiohead song is like, sure, Radiohead's popular, but it's popular in a different way. And it's kind of just that balance again. And I think Bond has, in my opinion, Bond has walked this line pretty fine and to a good degree for the most part of balancing like an artistic presence and wanting to make something that's meaningful versus appeal and popcorn movie. And I think that's why Bond, it does last as long as it has, and why I think that the family that ran it for so many years like did a really great job is like walking that fine line. And I think Radiohead just skews further towards that, like, sure, it might thematically represent what they were going for better, but like it's just a little too challenging. And that's
you definitely don't walk out of Spectre singing the Radiohead song.
No,
that doesn't stick with you going home.
Exactly. And I will say the one part about this song I like, to give it some, you know, when you think it's hitting its chorus, it's kind of doing like it's going up, up, up. But then when it hits its like actual chorus, it just drops all the way down, and his voice goes super high, and it's just like a piano. And the chorus, I really like that one moment, which I guess is ultimately the chorus. But I think that part of it works for me. But I'm not real huge on it, so I'm totally comfortable putting it at F tier. Currently, I have the other three in A, so I don't fucking know. I think that's just this is probably the one where you and I would have the most like push and pull with each other, just because it's just hard to determine personal preference what's the best. But No Time to Die. If we're gonna talk how well it plays into the movie, like this is a song when I first heard it, I was kind of like, okay, all right.
Generic.
But when I watched it in the movie, and you realize that Madeline Swan's pregnant and she goes away on the train, and it's just like this gasp of air happens, and then this song comes in, it is absolutely gorgeous. Like I think that the combination of that whole high octane opening scene, the emotional build up, and then the release of all that into this song is probably my favorite combo of scene to title song, personally.
And I mean, lyrically, it's like it's what's going on in Bond's head. Like, yeah, I mean, I've been here before. I'm trying to like think about it. Did everyone else know? Like, I guess I could pull up the lyrics, and this wouldn't be so ridiculous. But basically, like that I'd fallen for a lie. Did everyone else know? Blah blah blah. I mean, these are Bond's inner thoughts about did I really screw this up again and trust someone, and Madeline Swan's betraying me, and we're doing this again, kind of a thing. Yeah, I love
Totally.
that song.
I do too. So this is where, just to make some executive decisions, if we're gonna go with like what strengthens the movie the most, combined with the song on its own, I just think we still have to go Skyfall S tier. I kind of think you do. This might be controversial, but I do think the Billie Eilish song does go above, for me, the other two rock songs. But if you have a pitch for that, you can fight.
Yeah, no, that's I've got Quantum above Spectre, Another Way to Die, over
Okay.
Writings on the Wall, and then I was sitting here like Casino, No Time to Die. I couldn't. I mean, flip flop on either way. It's hard. I don't know.
I think they're both great, but I just think like, they contrast each other perfectly in the sense that My Name is the first Bond, and it should be exciting. That song comes on, we get the gun barrel moment.
It's the intro, it's the gun
boom.
barrel. It's like
So like
Bond
that
movie. Yeah,
is
exactly.
hype. No Time to Die is like, oh, I'm on an emotional journey now.
Yeah, it punches you in the gut a little more. I agree. Yeah.
But then there's the question of are you watching a Bond movie to have fun, or are you watching a Bond movie for an emotional journey? It's like, fuck, I don't know, man. Both.
That's not wrong. I think
I just think when those can
Today.
sync up and you can like feel like you want to cry when you're watching a movie like that because you feel it. I mean, and you could feel that way from My Name, which I feel like the first time I saw it, I felt the same. Like tears of joy versus tears of like.
like you do feel that, like you're like,
Yeah.
wow, this is like that opening sequence into the bathroom gun barrel into this song, like My Name, like this is Bond, like what this is about.
I do feel proud of our list actually right there. Like that was really difficult with the songs because I just think those top three are, well, yeah. They're all good songs except for maybe Sam Smith, so that was tough. Okay, so to find out our final rankings of each Bond movie, Mac tallied up 3 of the categories. I tallied up 2 of them. So I had Spectre at 15 points total
Nice.
for Best Bond Film. I don't know where that falls. And I had No Time to Die at 23 points.
Excellent. Wow. Okay, I had at 11 points Quantum of Solace.
11 points Quantum.
At third place, Casino Royale, 16.
Oh, shit.
And at first place, 21, Skyfall. So, but actually, No Time to Die scored higher than Skyfall.
Okay, so the best James Bond movie is No Time to Die. That's what we just figured out. Best Daniel Craig James Bond movie, No Time to Die. With 23 points because it scored in the top row. It had 5 points for the car chase, but it had 3 in the 4 points. You had Bond Girl, we got the gadget, which is kind of weak, and then the song. So we got 3 4-pointers that really did a lot of heavy lifting, and then and then the rest were in 3-point categories. It's Villain and it's Henchman. It had nothing below that. It had nothing below a B tier.
And Skyfall, I mean, best song, best gadgets,
Mm-hmm.
scored high in Villain, 4, and Henchman scored high in Henchman. It had a 1 girl and a 2 gadget, I think. Worst girl.
Yeah.
Oh no, sorry, gadgets were 5.
I think this actually is a really interesting study because I think when people commonly talk about why they love a James Bond movie, they're like, oh, I love the gadgets, the Bond girls, the cars. We didn't do locations. That could have been interesting. The villains, whatever, the iconic Henchman. There's a lot of these categories that people talk about of why they love Bond movies, and yet so many Bond fans hate No Time to Die. So
for these reasons?
For these reasons, because it's not enough of a Bond movie. But we just scientifically proved to you that it is. So that's our pitch on No Time to Die. Is it the best Daniel Craig Bond movie? According to this list, it is. And Skyfall comes in second, which I think was the return to the Bond form everyone praised it for. That was kind of fun. I don't know. It was weird. It's a weird way to talk about the different aspects of the movie without, like, I don't know.
Scientific, systematic, objective. You can't argue with it.
I guess one weird way of looking at it is the ultimate Daniel Craig Bond movie would have Lashif as the villain, Hinks as the henchman, Vesper as the Bond girl, a DB5 as the car, which it kind of does, so that's not really fair, but a DB5 car chase, and then it would have the Skyfall gadgets and the Skyfall song. So
dude, show me
that would be the ultimate Bond movie, which is kind of interesting. So maybe we'll make a fan edit merging like those aspects together.
And somehow the worst Bond movie features Christoph Waltz as Blofeld, the eye guy, Skyfall girl, an opening car chase, and a phone. And Sam Smith's song.
Yeah, that phone did not help Quantum of Solace, that's for sure. That's a wrap on the video. Thanks so much for watching. Follow me on Letterboxd. You can follow Mac on Letterboxd too. He occasionally hops on there. You definitely should. I'll put his handle on there. But yeah, anyway, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe, like, and we'll talk to you in the next video.